Is this you? Have you ever been manhandled by a gorilla that's only 5'6" but somehow weighs 400 pounds of muscle and can treat you like a doll? And this one isn't even the largest type of gorilla. They can get up to 5'11" and 500 pounds, all natural. It's unbelievable. Here's a quick look at one of the greatest and shortest bodybuilders of all time. Franco Columbu won Mr. Olympia in 1976, which was the first year that Arnold stopped competing after having dominated the contest for 6 years in a row. Columbu was 5'5", weighed 185 pounds, and he looked like this. Now imagine him doubling that and still being considered a small gorilla. Are you also insanely jealous of that physique? I thought so. So I'm about to tell you how to get the gorilla body by eating like a gorilla. Most of the apes, except for humans and gorillas, are frugivores, which means that their diet is mostly fruits. But gorillas are folivores, as in foliage, meaning they eat mostly leaves. I know you're bored already, but don't worry. Some gorilla subspecies eat up to 200 different types of plants, so you can have plenty of variety in your new diet. Gorillas have teeth similar to humans, and in fact they have 32 teeth just like us. Gorillas do have long pointed canines, but not for eating meat. They use these teeth to strip the bark from trees and to assert their dominance. Most of their teeth are meant for grinding and chewing, a lot of which is required for all of the plants that they eat. And they also have large, strong jaw muscles for all of that chewing. If you place your fingers on your temples and open and close your mouth, you can feel a muscle moving. This muscle is your temporalis, and it's the muscle that gives you headaches from grinding your teeth or clenching your jaw. Gorillas have this same muscle, but theirs goes all the way from the bottom of their jaw to the top of their huge sagittal crest. The picture might make it seem like the muscle separates, but the temporalis actually passes beneath the zygomatic arch, or the cheekbone, and beneath the masseter muscle as well, which you can feel on yourself by putting your fingers near the corner of your jaw on your cheek and clenching your jaw. Some people even exercise their masseters, but their goal is looks rather than strength. The gorilla is not concerned with looks. The gorilla can bite with a force of 1,300 pounds per square inch, or psi. For comparison, the average human bite force is 162 psi. A pit bull's bite force is 235 psi. But rest assured, once you start this ape diet, you'll be getting plenty of exercise for your chewing muscles, and you'll look so much more manly as a result. You're probably wondering now, just how much are gorillas actually chewing? Male mountain gorillas, like the one seen at the beginning of this video, eat about 40 pounds of plants each day. Imagine eating a full 10% of your body weight in the form of plants every single day. It should come as no surprise that gorillas spend most of their day foraging and eating, with a quick nap in the middle. Not only does it take a lot of time to find and to chew the food, but it also takes a long time for them to digest their food. To aid in their digestion of all of that plant matter, they have a larger stomach, longer intestines, and a different gut microbiome, which is the bacteria in your gut. Gorillas are also bloated and gassy from all of that digestion. Humans do this too, just on a much smaller scale. You've probably experienced some flatulence of your own after eating beans or other fiber-rich foods. Now remember, I said that gorillas eat mostly leaves. What else do they eat, and how much of it? Well, it's mostly insects, and those insects are mostly ants and termites. But if you're thinking that gorillas must be eating pounds of insects every day in addition to the pounds of plants, think again. Less than 0.1% of the gorilla's diet is insects. Also making up less than 0.1% of their diet? Their own feces. Yummy. Still jealous? Okay, fine, you don't have to eat your own poop if you don't want to, but don't complain to me when you're not seeing the results that you want. Let's put that 0.1% in reference with some rough math. We'll use the 40 pounds of plants that they eat to do the calculation. 40 pounds is 640 ounces. 0.1% means divide by 1,000, and we get 0 and 64 hundredths of an ounce, or about 18 grams. Imagine spending all day eating 40 pounds of spinach, and to top it off, you treat yourself to 18 grams of steak, literally a single bite. Oh, and then you also take a bite of your own feces. This can't be right, you say. Surely not all primates eat so few animals to get all big and strong. And you're right, some of the apes do eat more animals than gorillas do. Let's take a look at our most common relative, which is actually a tie between the chimpanzee and the bonobo. Like gorillas, chimpanzees and bonobos eat insects. But unlike gorillas, chimpanzees and bonobos also eat birds, other monkeys like the western red colobus, and other small mammals, such as bush pigs and forest antelopes. These types of animals, including insects, make up about 3% of a bonobo's diet and about 6% of a chimpanzee's diet. So let's see what that would look like for your diet. Say you're a healthy, 6'4", 225-pound male who exercises 6 days a week. You're probably a professional football player. You would need about 3,600 calories a day. 6% of that, to use the chimpanzee's number, would be 216 calories. Here's a list of animal products that are close to 216 calories. 1.35 cups of whole milk, 3 eggs, 3 ounces of 80% lean beef, 6 ounces of 93% lean beef, 5 pieces of bacon, 6 ounces of chicken breast. Now that was a very generous estimate. Most of us don't exercise 6 days every week, and most of us are certainly not 6'4" and 225 pounds. So if you're an average American male, you're 5'9" and 199 pounds. If you're a sedentary office worker, you need less than 2,300 calories per day, but let's say you get a couple days of exercise each week. This puts your needs at about 2,600 calories a day. Using the same calculation of 6%, you would get 156 calories from eating animals and animal products. So you would only get 1 cup of whole milk, 2 1/4 eggs, 2 1/4 ounces of 80% lean beef, 4 1/2 ounces of 93% lean beef, 3 1/2 ounces of bacon, or 4 ounces of chicken breast. And don't forget, you can't pick all of them. You can only have one option each day, and the other 94% of your calories will mainly come from fruits. How'd you like to eat 4 ounces of chicken breast and 23 bananas every day? Sounds awful, but who wouldn't want to look like this? However, the chimpanzee's digestive system is also more like the gorillas than the humans. All primates, which includes humans, have a similar structure: stomach, small intestine, and large intestine. But the majority of the human's gut volume is the small intestine, where most of our food is broken down, and the majority of the ape's gut volume is the large intestine, where all of the remaining material is fermented, and where all the gas is produced. Now I know what you're thinking. Wait a second, humans and chimpanzees diverged from a common ancestor 6 million years ago, and that ancestor diverged from gorillas about 8 million years ago. You already told us that our digestive systems are different. You can't expect us to be able to eat just like them. Fair. We can't expect ourselves to live on a completely raw food diet, certainly not without farting a lot and feeling bloated all the time. But we don't have to do that. Humans have been cooking our food for at least 780,000 years. And this process actually helps us eat plants in many ways. Cooking softens the plants, making them easier to chew. It breaks down cellulose, an insoluble fiber in plants, making them easier to digest. It even helps certain vitamins and nutrients be more easily absorbed, which provides us a better nutritional bang for our buck. But we're no longer alone on this side of the culinary divide. Chimpanzees and bonobos can be taught to cook. And what's even more interesting is that they have actually developed a preference for cooked food, to the point that they will ignore or return raw food, or even hold on to it until they can cook it themselves. It's theorized that humans learned cooking shortly after learning to control fire, which required the brain power to figure out cooking, an activity that requires planning, a willingness to delay gratification, and sophisticated use of a tool. So while we may feel intellectually superior to the apes for now, just wait until they all have stoves. You won't be feeling so superior when that 400-pound silverback rips your arms off and cooks you medium well. And yeah, they won't care about overcooking their human steak a little too tough. They don't have those massive jaw muscles for nothing. Just look at that smug face. He's gonna own you someday, and you can't stop him. So be thankful that our cousins don't want to eat us, because if they did, we would have been hunted to extinction long before we even became Neanderthals. Shh, you're done, bro. It's over. I win. Maybe there's a lesson to learn here. Just because we can do something, biologically speaking, doesn't mean that we should or ought to do that thing. We can't just eat bark and raw leaves like the gorillas, nor do we want to eat termites and feces, but we can summon all of our evolutionary successes and intellectual superiority to just turn on the stove and simply cook some plants instead of pretending that it's impossible to thrive on a plant-based diet. All of these men can do it. What's stopping you?